Hi everyone, Jess here at day 2 of the World Aviation Festival, and I'm joined by Yann Cabaret, CEO of SITA for AIRCRAFT. What would you say the most important factors will be for reaching the net zero by 2050 target?
I think it's not necessarily the most important, it's a combination of things that we're going to have to do, right? So airframers are going to have to have lighter aircraft, engine manufacturers will have to have more efficient engines, fuel is going to have to go sustainable, and we're going to get hybrid, hydrogen aircraft, hybrid aircraft, electric aircraft. And that's one bit. And then there is the other part, which is everything around the actual utilization of the airspace, utilization of aircraft, right? So the net zero doesn't come with one thing, it comes with an whole ecosystem of things that are going to have to happen, right? And some can start right now, can do right now. Some will lead to results in the longer term, but they have to be started now, right? So that's the complexity of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have to sort of start thinking now for planning for the future as well.
Well, actually you have to stop doing, not just thinking, right? And yes, then you get to results.
Can you name any collaborations or partnerships within the industry which have been particularly effective with regards to sustainability?
Well, I think a good example, I think, of something that was a good idea that has not yet came to deliver results was CESAR, right? Like the single European sky and all the reflection around how do we manage the European sky better than what we're doing right now. So all the concept and the ideas, they've been here for a long time. And they've not been fully implemented yet. And it's not that we've been bad at it, it's just it takes more time, right? And technology wasn't necessarily there and so on. So this is a very good collaboration. It's a very good concept. Now we need to push it to full implementation to get results out of it. So that's one example. There are many others, but that's one.
Yeah. So it's really exciting seeing collaboration within this space as everyone's pushing for this big goal.
Right. And that's the only way you can make it work, right? It's okay to optimize a single flight, but that's not going to lead us where we want to be, right? We need to optimize the aviation as an ecosystem, as a global system, and then you get to result, right? So you shouldn't prevent us from starting small, but we have to think a bit wider.
Yeah, of course. I really like the phrase ecosystem, so everything meshing together to produce one outcome. What are some exciting upcoming trends we'll be seeing surrounding technology in the next 5 years?
Technology is really around leveraging, if it's in the next 5 years, it's really around leveraging what exists in there, right? Because it's an industry where things take time, right? So I think an analogy I like to take is, if you remember in the cockpit, we've introduced electronic flight bags. So we had a second screen in the cockpit, right, where pilots could actually see information that wasn't displayed in aircraft cockpits. And I think this is a path for us, which is how do we bring data to pilots, but also how do we bring data to the controllers, and how do we bring data to the dispatch rooms, and the same data to all those people so that they can start working together. So it's technology around, there's no major breakthrough in technology, but it's about making sure everybody has access to the same info so that real-time decision-making can happen, right? So, and that's what I think is very encouraging. So we're not waiting for somebody to invent something huge that doesn't exist. There is technology today. Let's make sure we use it properly, right? And that's really what I would say here.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So it's not about waiting for what's to come. We've got the materials right now and just optimizing that throughout.
We have to wait for electric aircraft, we have to wait for hybrid, we have to wait for all this. And that's the 2050 questions you have, right? But then, no, we need to start with something.
Fantastic, thank you. How do you think large industry gatherings like the World Aviation Festival benefit the industry as a whole?
I think it's back to the point we just made, right? It's not about somebody having a small piece of the puzzle, it's about everybody having a piece of the puzzle, right? And actually that's what the events bring, which is you connect dots, you connect people, you connect domains, and I think that's where those industry events are useful. They're just not here for the show, they're here to somehow connect people so that we can make that ecosystem work, right? So no, I'm a strong believer of those events, right? And now we get together.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.